What's up? It's Lip Service. I'm Angela Yee.
I'm Gigi, Maguire.
I'm Stephanie Santiago.
Oh, and I'm Kiki Said So.
I'm Medinah Monroe.
And we're CockTales.
Okay, we ready to have some dirty discussions?
Yes.
Now, listen, I saw somewhere where y'all said, well, we're trying to, tame it down a little, clean up your act. Is that
That's
really
just
true?
her.
Well,
Okay.
you know what? I keep slipping and failing because I be trying. It's just like what I think about, it might not be that clean.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Turn down for what?
I know.
That's what I'm
Do
saying.
both of y'all just have birthdays too?
Yeah.
Hey, September
We did.
13th, September 23rd.
Oh,
All
wow.
right.
Happy
So are
birthday.
you guys
Thank
both
you.
Virgo or Virgo and Libra?
Virgo and Libra.
I'm
Okay,
like a
okay.
Libra though, because I'm on the cusp. So I'm a
Yeah.
Virgo
So you
and a
feel your
Libra.
Virgo.
Every now and again. I'm trying to ignore it.
That's cute.
Yeah. So first of all, I love that you guys are in New York.
Mhm.
And I know you had said you were going to start taking the train, and you did.
Yes.
You did.
I did.
Kiki said you did.
I've done the train in New York before, and I went to Howard. And so when I was at Howard, I used the train all the time. I don't like being down there under there with the turtles and the rats and the people cutting
Not the
up.
Master Splinter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
But super excited to be here in New York, kicking off our third tour. We were at Sony Hall last night, and it was a flood, but exciting.
Right.
People still made it out. I was surprised. I didn't think they were going
great.
to show up.
That's dedication. And I know, I'm sure some people couldn't because you
Of the
couldn't even
weather.
get an Uber. The train was shut down.
Mhm.
But like I was saying, that's memorable for the people who were there to be like, remember when they had that big flood? And
Right. And y'all still came out to listen to us talk whole shit. Like, it's amazing.
It's so funny to me because I think like the way we started Lip Service and then what you guys do with CockTales, people sometimes have like a judgment against, depending on who it is. You know, some people love it and then some people be like, this
Y'all
is
some
shameful.
hoes.
Why is that all y'all talk about? Like we talk about a lot of
You're
different...
never gonna get married. Who would ever want to wipe you up? Oh, you nasty. What? I'm like,
Well, how you think you got here, girl?
Right.
How you think you got here, sir?
And then it's like when
your
they say
mama was
things-
teabagging your daddy.
Okay.
And he slipped up.
And it's like, this is a show and we do talk about sex. So if you want to watch something else or listen to something else, there's plenty
Right
of other
ahead.
shows.
Right.
There's millions of podcasts out there. Change it. You don't have to listen to us.
Why do y'all think that people feel so shameful when it comes to sex?
I don't know. I try to figure that out. It's like, what is it? It's just like something that people have been taught for so long, but it's crazy because people have to have sex for society to continue. So
To
it's like,
exist.
why be ashamed of finding pleasure and happiness in sex and exploring it and figuring out what you like? What's wrong with that?
sometimes I also think it looks like they are ashamed of it, but you really are jealous because you wish that you were having your
Some good
back
sex.
blown out like some other
It's
people.
kind of like when senators have issues with gay people and gay marriage, but secretly they're gay.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Just live
Maybe you
out
got a
there
problem with the
once.
whole talk, but you got a secret hoe inside you, girl. Pull it
Right, or
out.
you don't know how
Let us
to
help you
release it.
find
You
it.
want to try some stuff and you just mad because you don't have the confidence to try certain things or say what you want.
Let me ask y'all something, because I had thought about this, right? But everybody talking about AI and things that could happen. If there was a potential that, like, let's just say an AI robot could automatically make you like have
Come?
multiple orgasms, right? Let's
Yeah.
just say, and they could, do and see like exactly what you like and what your spot is. Would you try it?
Hell yeah. I use a vibrator like daily. So, I mean, that's like the next step.
I don't
know?
think I would do it. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I would want to keep it old school.
She cleaning up her act.
I would, but I also really like what I love most about sex is touching bodies, like
Same.
feeling you, all those things leading up to the orgasm.
What if he looked real and he was like touching you?
That's
and could do all of
weird.
that?
Oh,
Hey, now
that's
I'm thinking of a Black
strange.
Mirror.
That would be
episode.
weird.
Like,
I
I'm
always say
thinking
we
of-
living in the Jetsons, but I don't want to live that far in the Jetsons.
Because when I'm picturing a robot, not that.
What I was thinking of like an AI intelligence vibrator, it would be like a vibrator, but
Right.
it like knows you. You like connected to your phone and
Right.
you put your fingerprint or some shit.
it's like,
That's what
hey,
I'm picturing.
Stephanie,
Not a
you're
person
number
looking
three.
at me.
Exactly. Not a
Do you feel
whole-
like squirting today?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, get
Or a
ready.
regular
Lay back.
orgasm.
Lay back.
That's crazy if they come out with something like
That's
that.
So
kinda
Kiki, you would
fire.
try it though.
I would try it, but I don't want the one that looks like a person.
Me
I would just
either.
want it to be like a toy, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
it just
more
has
like a vibrator,
intelligence.
but not a person.
Yeah, more like a vibrator where it already knows. I don't have to keep pushing the button to get to the setting that I like, like I currently have to do.
Yeah, that's
It's
basically
just
what's
programmed
happening.
to me
Around.
It'd be like, when you get in the car and it has
Alexa
your
for
automatic
vibrators.
setting.
on the seat. Yeah,
It'd be like,
exactly.
I feel like Kiki.
That is crazy. Tell me how it goes.
I don't know, y'all. We might be on to something.
Would that be cheating? Like if you were with a guy and he had a robot that could make him do that and he used it was a robot, it wasn't a real person. Would you look at that as cheating?
The robot looks like a person though? Yes. Because why do you have that? And now I think you're weird.
Yeah, does the robot look like me? Like who it look like?
Right. Does it look like your celebrity crush? Does it look like your ex-girlfriend?
You have
Your
lost
baby mama.
Your mind. I'm turning the robot off.
Yeah, that's cheating.
It's cheating.
Yeah.
Now, another timely thing that just happened, and I wanted to get everybody's opinion on this. The Travis Kelce Taylor Swift thing with Maya Benberry, right? That's the woman that he used to date. That she is now like warning Taylor Swift, he cheated, you know, he's not good. She's like, I see him talking about this relationship publicly and he's a narcissist and I dated him. I thought we were going to get married, all of these things. If you had dated a guy and you felt like he was terrible, you know, as a human being, he was a narcissist, he did all of those things, would you want to warn the next woman or do you mind your business?
No, bye girl.
Mind my business. Because at the end of the day, it's like you kind of look like you kind of want him back still. You want to just...
Right, because why do you care?
Well, yeah, it's not your business no more.
Right.
And I don't know, sis. Unless it was something where like maybe he was physically abusive, maybe then you might warn somebody,
Okay,
but
yeah,
I'm
that's
not
fair
sure I
enough.
would go out of my way to be like, hey girl, this what he did to me. Watch out. We looking corny. We are old women.
Yeah, it's giving I miss you vibes.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like
I want
who you
him.
are with one person is not always who you're
Not
gonna be with
always.
the next. You
Right.
know?
That's
So
true.
people can be different. He wasn't fucking with you, and that's why he did that.
And
Right.
sometimes
Or
you just
whatever.
gotta let a Sasquatch. I mean, sometimes you just gotta let a raccoon. Sometimes you just gotta find a bitch.
This is
figure out
sounding
on her own.
personal.
Yeah.
That's all. You think you won, girl, but
Yeah,
baby,
you need to
that's not a
focus
prize.
on you. You so worried about trying to mess up what he
You
got
too
going
worried about
on.
trying to be me, and you can never.
And you're looking bitter.
Period.
It's like, let's
It
move
definitely
on.
gives bitter.
Yeah.
That's funny though, because like she's been doing interviews and everything. And I don't think anybody's like, yes, sis, thanks for warning him. Everybody's like, girl, like,
Mind
Shut
your
up.
business.
Yeah.
What do you have coming up?
Mhm.
Do you have some business?
Mhm.
But let me ask y'all this. Have you ever done that? You know how you always, you grow. We've all been young and dumb and did some things we maybe regret. Have you ever done anything like that? Like, I'm going to contact the girl and tell her how horrible
well,
it is.
I contacted a girl. So my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend cheated on me and I contacted the girl's fiance who he cheated with and sent him like the evidence.
So they both got caught.
Yeah, but he still married her after that. But I just did that and then I never said nothing else again. And then he responded like, oh, you know, like I could tell he, you know, I don't know what ended up happening with them, but I just put it out there and I broke up with him. So it wasn't like I was going to stay with him after that. But I did have a guy who cheated on me with a girl and then ended up being with the girl because I broke up with him and then kept still trying to talk to me. But I never contacted her. I actually thought it was amazing. That because I was like, this is what you get. Like, who knows who else this man is contacting? He ain't shit. She ended up having a kid with him and he still ain't shit. And I think they broke up now, but I knew it all along. But I would actually prefer to not tell you because you get what you
Because sometimes, like, looking at it with a different eye, it wasn't the same exact situation, but there was a guy I was dealing with, and he was my boyfriend. Let him tell it he wasn't, but he was. Anyways, we were supposed to be exclusive with each other, and he was dealing with this other person. It ended up coming out on my birthday. He broke up with me on my birthday. It was really sad. I was so upset.
That was a rough time.
And I couldn't believe that he did what he did. I mean, he was like someone who he would contact my mom, take my mom out to dinner. He was just doing all these extra things to show that he was this great man, and everybody was believing him. And I needed people to know, he is crazy. So I contacted the girl. My friends found the girl that he had cheated on me with. I contacted her. Not messy, not anything. I was like, I would love to talk to you because there's some missing pieces to this puzzle. And I just needed to know, like, did she know? He said she knew about me and she was okay with being the side chick.
Wow.
But it just wasn't, it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Said, if you don't want to talk, it's totally fine, but here's my number. I would love to talk. She ended up calling me. We had an amazing conversation. And we actually did a bonus episode on CockTales where her and I talked about our experience with this man. He ended up doing something really dirty to her. And she was like, I never knew about you at all. That's a lie. He told me you were a family friend. A family friend. And I was just like, I had to contact the girl because I was just like, I need to know.
Oh, you just reminded me. I
wild.
did contact somebody before.
What happened? Oh, you did, Gigi. You definitely did.
I contacted somebody twice.
As a
I
matter of
contacted
fact,
some
Sometimes you got to.
I know a situation where you did this
When I slid in the girl DMs.
and sent her all kind of.
What did
Yeah.
she say?
She sent voice recordings, everything.
Because he took you there, didn't
I
he?
slid in her DMs, but that ain't even what I thought about. I thought about the other one.
Oh my God, girl.
I thought about the other one because he told her that we was just friends.
See, and you be like, something don't feel right.
You got a key to my house. You got a car in my garage.
Friends,
We
where?
exchange I love yous.
Let me tell you the truth.
We have raw sex. What friend? And it was like 4 years. What friend?
Right.
Now, were we exclusive? Were we ever in a relationship? No. But we was doing all the relationship shit. We're friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some things that push you to, like, you playing with me. And I'm not even trying to mess up what y'all got going, but I do need you to know I'm not a family friend.
So this is why I told her, because he allegedly came to my city to visit and brought her with him. And like he moved just different than he normally did. And I knew something was wrong. And the reason why he didn't tell me about this girl, they were in a relationship. And the reason why he didn't tell me is because he knew that I knew her, and I wasn't about to do that. Like, I'm not about to be fake smiling in this girl's face knowing I'm fucking her nigga. What I don't know don't hurt me. But now that I know this, now that I know that that's your girlfriend,
It's
like,
wrong.
nah. So me and the girl, we aren't friends, but we know each other. And I definitely slid in her DMs like, girl. Responded to the picture when I knew they were together. Like, girl, let me
A lot of times though, when you do that, the girl don't leave or nothing.
She didn't.
Yeah, they don't leave.
She told me she wasn't.
Yeah.
Well,
She told me she wasn't. And I'm like, well, I'm good.
Like, have you ever had a girl contact you about somebody you were dating and you really left this guy alone because she?
No.
It never. It
Yeah, no,
doesn't
I've
normally
had
work.
girls contact me about almost every guy that I've dated.
Yeah. They'll contact me.
I didn't leave them
But it's like,
alone
what you
at
think we gonna do?
I had a woman contact me about a guy that I was in, but I actually did leave him alone because it was crazy. Like, his at-home situation was horrible. Like, he was spending all this money on everything else but his family. I didn't know he had a wife. I didn't know he had kids.
Whoa.
And it was just a thing where I was like, I can't do this.
These guys
Yeah.
are frame
He
wrecks.
lied about his name.
Oh my gosh.
It's
It's like he just made a new
Yeah,
personality.
Yeah, this
He
was in
just made up a
college. He told me he
whole-
played basketball for some school in Texas. And when all this started coming out and this woman kept calling me, we looked up the roster and I was like, you're not on there. And then when I finally talked to his wife, she was like, he is a
Damn,
janitor
Google.
at Rooms to Go. And he does this all the time. He said his name was Kobe because he loves Kobe Bryant. That is not that nigga's name. And I
He
was
did
like,
not name
He
himself.
said he's Kobe and
After
he works
Kobe.
at Rooms to Go as a janitor. He's
What was his
cleaning
real
the
name?
his real
toilet.
name was Calvin.
Calvin. Is
Kobe
cleaning
just
the
sounded
You
toilet.
gotta
Wow,
beware of the niggas with the
Calvin.
old
Months
nigga
ago.
names.
Wow.
It was
Shout out to all
wild.
the Calvins.
Shout out to all the Calvins. The Calvins still work at McDonald's. He moved up the Rooms to Go.
But something interesting you had said before was about like standards, right? And realizing that like you have to have higher standards when it comes to who you're dating. So what made you come to that realization?
So I don't necessarily think you have to have higher standards. I think that a lot of women who are in situations where you don't like how you're being treated or you might not like what types of dates you're going on, you're dating and you're sad and you don't know why. And it's because whatever you're attracting, you're attracting that. Your standards might be low and you just might not realize
You're not
it.
setting the
Or you
tone.
might
You
not
not-
have any standards and you need to have
Some. Yeah, you got to set the tone
So-
for these men. You got to let them know
And
what
some
type of
women
bitch
might be
they
okay
like.
with
I
it.
like.
Yeah.
Some women might be okay with it, but if you find yourself complaining a lot,
Then clearly.
you need to maybe raise up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think far too often people will just accept whatever because you're lonely or you feel like that's going to give you some sort of validation to be attached to somebody. But if you're unhappy in the
Let it go.
attachment, what's the point?
When you're dating someone, do you recommend that they listen
Oh,
your-
no.
Wait, what? Listen
to your
Oh, I was
podcast.
like, what she got to say?
Yeah.
I get nervous even
Recommend.
thinking about it. Please don't listen.
Because it could help them understand you better too.
Could it though? Like, we
No.
sitting here talking shit, drinking tequila.
Yeah.
Something might come out that just was loose lipped and
Listen, I just
Yeah.
told a man he might learn a little thing or two about watching lip service when it come to me. Because I'm an open book.
Watch lip service. Don't watch. Listen to other women, but it's kind of like unfair too because it's like you can hear all of these things, and I'm just having a conversation with my friend, and I'm speaking very raw and honest,
Listen.
and then you're listening to that, but then you get mad about
It should help
certain
you figure it out.
things,
Okay.
or you're questioning certain situations that have happened with me and somebody else, and you would never have known, and it's not your business. It has nothing to do with you. It wasn't during the time that I was dealing with you, and there's nowhere that I can go and hear all of these things about you. Like I'm not reading your diary.
The true key
And it's
is
like a
when
diary.
they think that you're talking about them, but you're talking about somebody else.
Right.
No, and you're a good person for even explaining it like that. I just be telling them like, listen, I'm lying. I lie all the time.
I say
All I
that
do is
too.
lie the whole time. Why are you listening to this?
But y'all
It's
know
just
they do
energy.
listen.
No,
Yeah,
but and
even when
listen,
they
I
say-
can't
and they
even
get
lie.
mad. That's why I
no,
don't
they
like
get
it.
so
Yeah, they're
mad.
gonna listen anyway.
I've had problems in every single relationship I've been in since I've done this show. Every relationship I've been in, they have a problem with me being on this show.
what is their problem?
Their problem is that I'm sitting on the show talking about having sex next to
Celebrities
ninjas.
or, yeah. Ninjas.
next to men.
Yeah.
What if a guy you were dating had his own show and was like talking about?
I
But
say
I
this
think that's
all
would you
the
listen?
time.
Would you listen?
I might listen.
I would never date somebody who's doing this.
That's what you think.
I don't think I could. Like, there have been times I'm like, we cute. And I'm like, I don't think we should both be in the same industry doing this. Like,
really?
Yeah, I don't think
that might make it kind of fun. Then you'll end up doing a couple of little cross marketing episodes.
Then we break up and everybody's
talking about it.
Yeah. I don't know if I would
being
listen.
on a show like this will definitely bring out the insecurities in a man.
Mm-hmm.
But what about
that's
a
what
woman
it
too?
is.
Like for you, if your man was doing a podcast that was about
I think it's more
sex and
acceptable for men because I don't
wouldn't
think I would
mind.
get upset. I understand this is a job, especially when you take it to certain levels. It's like I actually commend you for talking shit about fucking to a level of success.
Yeah.
Right? I love that. That's amazing. I don't need to listen to it.
I never thought about dating a guy who's on a podcast, but maybe I need that because then he can understand my life. Like,
He'd be like, I'm lying too.
and exactly, and you hear me exactly. Yeah. But like literally, we do the show, Angie, and you know this. I sit in the corner, like all the way in the corner, and then as soon as we're done, I run out the door.
Yeah.
Is this not? This is a fact for years.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you might get some flowers or something though. Okay, sorry.
Would you let who you're dating come to your live show?
I'm lying.
You see, this is a podcast of lies.
Yeah.
Would
y'all let who you're dating come to the live show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
live
care.
show is different.
I've invited
I don't care either.
a
I
guy
feel like
or
it's
two
ridiculous.
to come like here and sit in, but it hasn't happened.
Mhm.
But
As a matter of fact, Gigi's ex-boyfriend wanted her to do this show.
Oh, really?
When I first started, he was like, that's how, when I first started this, I met Gigi because I knew her ex. And then he was like, I want, let's put Gigi on there, So I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. And I was like, but if y'all break up, I don't want to hear no
you come
issues
telling
and no
me to kick
problems.
her off.
And he was like, no, blah, blah, blah. And then Stephanie, I met through Sean Malcolm.
Yes.
He used to be the editor-in-chief of King Magazine. And I was like, who else do you think would be good? So that's how, and that's from the first episode.
Yep.
It
Yep,
was the
and
three
here
of
we
us.
are
9
almost
years
a
later.
decade later.
I
Wow.
love
Yeah.
that. Congratulations, y'all.
It's been a hoot.
Mhm. But I also wanted to add in about like men having a problem with women that do shows like this. I do think if you meet somebody that you really do care about, the concern, I do understand the concerns. It's like I don't know about y'all, but sometimes Kiki and I really go there to some of the levels where it is I could see where somebody would see this floating around on a clip, or maybe their sister sees it or their mom, and they want to talk to you about certain things. If I really care about you and I respect you, I'm okay with discussing certain things.
Right. Okay.
It's not, I don't always look at it like you're insecure. It's like my booty hole is circulating the internet.
Right.
And you want to talk.
That's
hole
good. I
brown.
agree with that.
You know what I mean? But if I
You got a
don't
good
care
heart,
about
too.
me.
but at the end of the day, we usually speak about experiences, which we know is the past,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And then we speak about just likes and needs, wants, and things that we're interested in.
It's
So-
educational.
and it's very educational
But
and
the truth
informative. So why down me for expressing?
But you're right about the fact that it
My
could be a
life.
clip that circulates online that doesn't
Yeah.
And they just
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
want to know,
Read
like
the
they
wrong
aren't in
way.
here when we're putting the show together. They don't know if
Yeah.
it's a lie or not. So again, if it's somebody that's you want to be you're in a serious relationship with, I'm just saying it doesn't have to be an argument. If they are just like, can we talk about it? Because I do kind of want to know, when did this happen?
Are you are the okay? So the two of y'all in your relationships, right, Medinah, Kiki, who's more of the I need to talk. Can we talk about this person? You or usually?
No, it's
Okay.
Wait, can we talk about
Like if
just talk
you're
about
No,
with
that's
your
an
man, are you-
issue with
who's
your guy.
more likely to be like, all right, can we talk? Can we talk about this? Like the discussing.
Yeah, me.
Yeah,
In our relationship or in our relationship with men?
With men.
Oh, me and my boyfriend are both like that, honestly.
Okay.
Because I told myself the next relationship I was in, I really wanted to aim for healthy relationships. And for that, it's a lot of communication. A lot of communication around
Yeah,
things
I
that
agree
you
with
didn't even
that.
think was going to have to be an
Everything.
issue.
Yeah.
And so, like, we do therapy. We're not married, but that's the goal. But it's like we communication is really important to me and to him. So we both are constantly like, do we need to talk about that? Did we take that joke too far? Did you get upset the way I hug? Like, I just want to make sure we're good.
Yeah.
A lot of the times in relationships, people just harbor on feelings, and it might be small, but now that's growing and you mad.
So that's something you learned because you didn't do that in your previous relationships.
No, I didn't do it a lot. It would be something small that bothered me. And I'm just like, I'm not going to bring it up because this is stupid. But it's
We
not
talking about
stupid.
everything.
Yeah, we need to talk about everything.
Yes.
Why
Kiki,
did-
what
why
about
did-
No, for me, it's usually they're bringing an issue to me. And I'm okay with talking about it if it's gonna be a discussion. But what I don't like is when somebody's like just running down a list of all the things that you're not doing right because you chose to hold on to it. I'm okay with talking about it. And I find that usually I'm okay with a lot more things than he is.
Mhm.
And so he's usually the one, and it's usually the show. That's a big part of it. And it's like when I say something, I also don't like repeating myself too many times. So if I brought up an issue, I'll bring it up if it's an issue. And if I bring it up 3 times after that, well, I'm moving on.
Same.
Yeah, I don't like doing that because I feel like, okay, we're doing all of this talking, but we're talking in circles. Why do we need to keep having a discussion about the same issue and the things that I'm asking for, that I'm bringing up is not a big deal? Like a guy I was seeing recently, I was like, you keep trying to do like these big grand things for me. And I never asked that. I don't know if my friends are putting that in your ear.
Right.
I don't know if you're spending too much time on Instagram. I literally need you to help me with little things, like on a daily basis. Like take some of the load off of me. I have a lot to do every day. If you could do like something small, you're at my house and you see I did some laundry and the towels aren't folded, fold them.
Right. Okay.
It's very simple.
That's
And it's like,
very
if I brought this up to you already and I've said it 3 times now, don't be mad when I'm done.
But you don't
It
like
wouldn't
the
be
big,
over just
but you
the
don't like
towels.
the big grand gestures. Like
I don't mind them, but it's like the grand gesture doesn't make me forget that you won't do the small thing that I actually asked for.
Okay.
Because it's the little things that really matter. It's the little things that make me appreciate somebody and
The
make
thoughtfulness.
somebody stand out than the big stuff. Because the big stuff, while it might be pricier, to me, that's easier.
Mhm.
It's
It's
less.
very easy to spend money.
It's so much easier to do that. It takes time. That's why I didn't fold the damn towel. So can you help me out?
No,
You know?
Would you say that in your experience in relationships, opposites attract, or you like somebody that's similar to you?
For me, I think it depends on at the moment, like what I'm dating for. Because now, since it's a little bit more serious and I want a family and I want a husband, I look at those family values. So it's like I need
So it'd be
it can't
the
be
same.
opposite.
Yeah.
It can't be opposite. It needs to be like we have at our core, we want the same things for kids. We want the same thing for a household. That's really important. A lot of times I look at people's relationships now, and that's normally like where people end up falling out over things. It's like, well,
Like core values.
core values, or it's like you looking at somebody, it's like, could you be somebody's father?
Your face.
Yeah.
Because I don't fuck some niggas where I'm like, if I
Oh
would
my
have
God.
had you,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd be
Yeah.
single.
yeah,
Mess.
with a baby.
no help. Like, and that's your daddy. I gotta tell my kids that's your daddy.
And then you gotta look at your daddy's face on this child.
Right.
Remind you.
Every day.
I think I like somebody who kind of balances me out. So maybe where I'm weak at, you can be good at that. But we do need to have a lot of similarities.
Okay.
I think that having somebody that's laid back, I've dated guys who want to go all the time. I don't like that. You're going to annoy me. I'm going to be stressed. I don't want to do stuff all the time. I like being able to be comfortable around somebody enough where we can just be at home and chill.
Right.
Sometimes everything
Yes.
doesn't have to be a party. It doesn't have to be a big date. It doesn't have to be all of that.
For sure.
Like, can I actually enjoy your company without all of the
All of
things
the pomp and
added?
circumstance.
Because if it's all about these experiences, I can do that with somebody else. It's not really about you then. So yeah.
And that's not really real life. Instagram will really have you creating a whole dream life. That is not your real life,
Yeah.
to be with somebody married and every day we find the Turks. There's gonna be some days where we are just having a normal life. We're going to the grocery store,
Right.
and we're
I
cooking
mean,
for
and does it
home.
annoy me to
Then
do that?
The
other
wigs
things.
are off. The
The
makeup
wigs
is
are
gone. Lashes ain't done. We is can we sit down and be regular?
And sometimes people's relationships look so perfect, and then you find out they're getting divorced. Like they put up stuff, and it's like, this is amazing. This person, and then next thing you know, it's like, what the fuck happened?
Because everybody got some shit going on. Even healthy relationships. Everybody has. There's like an
something.
underlying continuous argument about something. You either learn how to work it out, or you get the people where it's like, we've been faking it for too long and we got to let this go.
Have you ever argued about sex in a relationship? Like not enough sex, or not like being able to orgasm, or not like, has that ever been a situation?
Not an argument.
In one of, I wouldn't say an argument, but it was an
An issue.
uncomfortable
Okay.
talk, like all the time, to the point where I just ended up, I was like, I'm just not going to be having sex with you. And we lived in the same home. And it was
Wait,
bad.
what was
And
the
then
problem?
started
Right.
gaining
I was going to say the
so
same thing.
much
What was
weight.
the issue?
It was just, I wasn't attracted to him anymore. And I feel so bad. But again, these are some of those conversations that you have to have them. I was
Right.
like, I don't want to offend anybody, and this was my situation. He had just gained entirely too much weight. I'm like, I'm dying under here. Like, I can't even. It's sweat dripping. It's sweat dripping in my nose. This is not
sweat dripped in my nose.
I'm trying here, but it's like, I can't do this anymore. Like, do you know who I could be fucking? Like, I didn't say that, but it was just like, I'm not enjoying it.
You would have said that.
That was the feels.
You don't say mean things, but there were moments where he'd be like, it just doesn't seem like you like it. And I was like, I don't.
I'm sorry.
I don't. Like, and I felt so bad because he was a great guy, but the sex part just wasn't.
Was he just eating too? Like, or was there anything going on? Was it
I do think there was maybe like some depression going on. He had been through a lot in life, but that was another thing. You don't have to go through those things with people. Like, this sounds really harsh. Somebody listening might be like, that bitch is real. But I just, at the moment in my life, I wasn't the type, I didn't love him enough to be like, I'm going to rock this out with you. I don't want to.
Right.
I was young and happy and free. And like, I don't really want to be doing this.
And you need to see a professional. Like,
you're not professional.
You're not the lady. Okay. You need to go talk to the lady because what can you really do? And then that's just going to bring you down.
That's hard. That's a burden when somebody is not happy. I told you, I dated this guy and he lost his job and it was kind of early on. And he was so depressed and like angry all the time. And I was like, I can't do this. I was like, because it's one thing if like you fall in some hard times, but you're working on it and at least we're still having a good time. But he was not fun at all. I mean, every time I was around him, it was like my spirit was like down.
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
it's
even
one thing also when I think that's when you also realize that I don't really care about you. I care about you, but I don't care about you enough to want to do these things because I could see it where it's like you love somebody to the point where you will you will go through the thick and the thin.
But then it's like, is the thing gonna get thinner and thinner, or is it ever gonna get back thick? Because sometimes I think that people like to just stay in that place, or they won't do the things that they need to do to get out of it. And it's like, how long do you expect me
to ride this out with you?
Ride with you while you're like this? If you're not gonna do anything to try and fix it.
But I also
like,
think
you gotta try at least.
Those types of things. So people, they show you that they don't fix problems before you marry them. Yeah. Like there are so many different signs where you're like, well, we already know if you go through some hardship when we get married, you've been not accomplishing anything. So don't be shocked when he fall on hard time. You still married him. You still continue to do this relationship with him. And you saw him not checking off 9 boxes.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Okay, so how important is sex in a relationship?
Very.
It's at the top. I mean, it's not the most important, but it's very important.
They act like women, like we're not, that's like always sex. Secondary to us. Have you ever been with somebody who you only like them because of sex?
Oh, yeah. To me, sex is like the easiest part of the relationship. It's the other stuff that becomes the issue. So I've definitely held on to way too many people because the sex was great. And it's like, I don't even really want to talk to him because when he starts talking, I'm annoyed. But when we're having sex, I'm in love again.
Have you ever known that someone was only with you for sex?
Yeah. Because they didn't like when I was talking.
Oh, you know what?
It's like,
if that was ever a situation, it was a mutual decision.
Right.
Like,
and it's fine.
Like,
we don't have to discuss it.
We don't got to do nothing else.
I feel like, I don't know if I feel like every guy that I've been with at least acts like they like to be around
You're
me.
not disrespected.
They'll be nice, but you can just tell like when the conversations are not ever really having any substance. And it's just like little things, what
like
it
if they're
is.
not taking you out to eat and stuff.
Well, not even that, because we'll eat.
Like,
they'll
they're like go on a date.
They're not asking me about my future. They're not asking me about my family, checking in on people, or asking what I want out of life. It's just like, we can go, we can eat, we can do the things, you can drink,
we can fuck.
And we fucking after this. And
let me know when you want to do
what makes sex great to you?
Oh, the passion.
The eye contact. I just like the smell of a man.
Are you masturbating right now?
I'm reminiscing.
Use my best friend.
You know what?
I almost wore mine today too. But yeah, I think it's that, and just being able to look at somebody and just, every sexual experience is different and the people that you're with is different. But when you can really connect with somebody and both of you are pleasing each other and it's not like one-sided, it's great.
Have you ever had sex with somebody who you didn't even really like as a person? Yeah.
And the sex,
I've stopped doing that, but
and the sex was good or the sex was bad? Or you're like, I don't even
No, I said, like the sex was good. But you
the
just
person
didn't
annoyed
even
the fuck out of you.
Yeah. I don't even want to cuddle afterwards. Where's my stuff? Let me grab my
I think I've had
Don't worry
sex
about
with a person I didn't like, but I used to like them. And then I ended up having sex with them later and didn't like them at that time.
Right.
The feeling went away.
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
if you circle back, like it was good at first, and then you like, let me revisit that years later, and then you like,
It's
ugh.
terrible. I don't even
What was
like
I
you.
thinking?
I raised my standards because this shit
That
is
part.
not hitting like I thought it was.
There you go.
Woo.
There was this this happened to me one time. This was so embarrassing. This is why I learned not to do this. But this guy was at my house, and he was really good at like eating pussy. That was all that I didn't really like him that much.
Mm-hmm.
And then
But that
one
mouth.
day he just would not leave. And I was like, oh my God, because you know, when somebody's at your house and you don't really like them and you can't wait for them to leave.
You're like, I really
And you don't want to be rude.
And you don't know how to be like, this was before Ubers existed, so you can't.
This is why women are so great, because women, we all like, I don't want to be rude. Oh man, no,
Yeah,
man.
he'll
Be like,
just-
hey, you should just get up on out of here.
What you about to do?
What you like? I gotta go to work.
Yeah,
You don't
I got moves to make.
What
I
you
got
about to
runs
do?
to
I
make.
just
What you
called
gonna
you.
do?
But like,
they're not worried about
Finally he left, right? And I closed the door behind him, and I was like, oh my God, thank God he left, and he heard me.
Ooh,
And he
you
called me.
out loud.
I did, but I closed the door, so I didn't know.
You're funny.
I said it.
What did he say?
He was like, he called me and was like, wow, you couldn't wait for me to leave. And I was like,
Well,
Wow.
I was like, I'm
What
sorry.
did you say?
I really
I was like,
could.
I'm sorry.
Blooper.
Did he still come over and eat your pussy?
After
I
that,
don't remember. I think after that, I probably was too embarrassed. But I also just didn't.
like him anyway.
Yeah, I didn't
so.
even really like him. I don't even know why I was like.
When
I
you
just
feel
I
that
was
way
bored.
about a man, like what is normally like the underlying factor that you don't like? Because for me, it could be something like slight, like when you swallow is too loud, and it's like, well, I don't understand why you. It's so
There was
loud.
a guy that I didn't like. I couldn't really just get into because he was like highly unintelligent.
Oh, I hate
yeah,
that.
that's a deal breaker.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Because I don't
was
wanna
just like
explain
everything
everything to
else. You
you.
so cool, but
And he was saying conversate.
stupid.
and
I think I was
Exes.
with somebody for a long time whose sex was just incredible. It was just really whole, everything sex.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a little
slow.
dumb.
yeah. And
He
see,
was
I
a
never even
little-
had sex
like,
with this
our
guy. I couldn't
conversations-
even get there.
Mm.
Like he and I, almost every time we spoke, it was like if we had a long conversation, we were either like having a jokey conversation or I was teaching him something.
You're like, read along with me.
You're like, sound it out, baby.
Right.
There was a dude that I used to fuck with, and the sex was great, and he was fine, but I'm not even like a health freak. I'm really not. I do the normals. I do my vitamins. I drink a lot of water. I have my vegetables, all that stuff. I'm normal healthy. He was like, I don't like water. And I was like,
Oh.
We ain't doing
You
that.
gotta drink water. That's the basics.
So now your motherfucking piss is coming out like
Everything is
battery
deep
acid.
fried.
No.
This baby was drowned in the lettuce and ranch.
I can't.
Oh my
I can't.
God.
I can't.
So I know he didn't taste good.
That's disgusting.
That part.
I don't swallow, so I didn't
That's
know.
one thing. All my
girl.
boyfriends have a good diet. I couldn't deal with
Yeah,
that. No
that's
water.
important.
Like
No water.
That's
When
a
people be
little
like, I
something.
don't like water.
Ew.
But you need
You don't
it.
like
You
yourself
literally
if you don't
need
like
it.
water. That's gross.
That's
That's
wild.
like
what
your
about
body.
seltzer?
How much
No.
is
Sparkling
the
water.
body is a certain
He
percent of
think
water, a
Gatorade
very
and
high
Powerade
percent
was
of it,
gonna get him
right?
by
You can't
vitamin
skip
water.
So if
by
you don't
drinking
drink
Gatorade.
water, what happens?
Again, I be thinking about that future.
Your
You know
piss
you
comes
gonna be
out
here
like
to help me in
snot.
life.
Okay, you and the
That's
kids.
gross.
I don't
by
know
yourself.
anybody who doesn't drink water. I don't think so. I have no idea.
I know a couple
what
people that
I've
don't
met
drink
some
water.
people like
I know
that.
a girl
Like, what
and a guy that don't
happens?
drink water.
I
Girl.
think they were
I
just
know a girl
raised
that
like
don't drink
that.
water. And
And
she's
they
sorry
don't
to
always
them.
look unhealthy.
Yeah.
Some
Right,
people
right.
look like they have beautiful
look
skin.
fine.
Yeah, and they're just like, I don't like water.
So maybe water's overrated. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's not.
Girl, I
Go
love
back to
water.
that.
So
Exactly.
listen, I have a question, y'all. This didn't happen to me, but it happened to a close friend of mine, and I want to get y'all's opinion on it. So imagine you're dating this guy and things are getting serious and you invite him over. He's from out of town and you're like, when you visit, you can just stay at my house.
Mhm.
And he goes, nah, I'd rather get a hotel because I don't know who slept in that bed. How would you react to that?
Okay, my reaction probably would be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that to me," but I also get it.
I
So
respect
again, I'm
it.
looking at
Right.
whoever he said that to. Well, is there a reason why he said like do a lot of do a
Well,
lot of people
no.
be in the bed?
So personally, because I know the guy and not the girl.
Mhm.
So personally, for him, he just feels like he don't want to sleep in a bed that another man fucked her in. But that changing the mattress don't change her pussy.
Right.
You still gonna sit on the toilet. You still
You
gonna
still
eat
gonna-
off the forks and the plates.
Yeah, I think that
you
was-
still in the house.
I think
Like,
that
and I
was
wash
just
my
a bad
sheets.
excuse for
Right.
Just,
He gotta do a
could've
full
just said, I need my own
renovation.
now I can
space.
And she
understand
is
his
our
wedding.
place messy. There have been times when I don't want to stay at certain
think
people's
so.
houses.
I
It's
was
just-
gonna say, if you're dating
He
a
had
guy,
never even
the
been to
first
her house.
time that you go like visit him, I wouldn't want to stay at his house either.
Mhm.
I'd rather get a hotel and maybe go to your house? And
No,
see
it
about-
wasn't the
been to
first
your house. I
time.
can see
They were getting serious, and she's like, "You no longer have to get hotels. You can start staying with me." And he's like, "Not." He's like, "I'll buy you a new mattress first, but not until."
Well,
then."
that's fine.
Be mad.
I'll take
Go
a mattress.
ahead.
I mean, but that's just OD, you know. I told him he was being ridiculous.
I
think
think get
that's
that
a lot.
Tempur-Pedic.
And he's like,
Yeah.
"You just ain't fucked with a real nigga before, because the real nigga going to swap out your mattress." I'm like,
Well,
"So
I
you
guess
might
I
as well
ain't
swap
fucking
out
with
everything
real
then.
niggas.
But what you
Right.
can't swap out is the pussy."
Right.
Right.
It's the
But
same
you know-
pussy.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see like, oh, new pillows, new
But
bedding.
if she's okay with
Yes.
it, then you know, if she's
So, but this what I want to know, and I'm gonna ask him because I just thought of this in this moment. When y'all break up, because eventually you're probably gonna break up with her. Y'all might not make it to
Period.
forever. You taking a mattress or you letting her keep it for the next nigga?
So she can line them up
you
on the
better
next
not
mattress.
come in here trying to carry out the
I'm
mattress.
like,
He's gonna repo a mattress.
You know what? You wanna hear something crazy?
Keep the mattress for the next nigga.
I dated this guy. This is the only person before that I ever very briefly lived with for like 2 months, you know. And when we broke up, he tried to take the mattress with him, like carry it down
Oh,
the steps.
petty.
Was he that
No.
strong? I would
like-
be cracking
But
up.
he had no place to go with it. I was like, sir, if you don't just put this
What are you
mattress
doing?
down.
Wait, it's a video floating around of a guy trying to lug a mattress onto the train here in New York. I just saw it today.
Oh my
That's
God.
what that remind me of.
That was gonna be
Maybe
Angela.
that was what
So did he
happened.
leave it? He left it.
Listen, and I had just graduated from college, so it wasn't like a good mattress. It was from IKEA.
So he was extra petty.
Yeah. So he like tried to take it, and he was like trying to take it and drag it down. And I was like, I mean, I
So
don't
he
care.
took
Go ahead.
it?
No, he didn't, because he didn't really have nowhere to go. He couldn't get it down the steps. But I think he was just
He
mad.
attempted.
And,
That is so embarrassing.
moment.
Imagine you're struggling with a mattress. You can't even
and I was
get
just
out.
looking
And
like
you just stuck.
this clown right here.
Well,
like,
as
what
we
is he-
sit here and talk about clown ass niggas, there used to be a dude that I was fucking with, and he wasn't even my boyfriend. We were just like dating for a moment. He was crazy. I will never date another Libra man ever again in my life.
Ooh, shout out to my brother. He's a Libra.
I'm a
Okay.
Libra too, but your brother's
The
like
men are
great.
crazy.
But the other, this
Brian
one-
is
rest
great. He's
of
hella
them.
cool.
He ended up writing a Google Doc, a 6-page Google Doc about me. And it had like an intro and like a heading. And he wrote this Google Doc about everything that he didn't like that I did. And he put bullet points. When we were out, you could have suggested that you were going to pay for the extra hookah coal. Or, hey, baby, I'm going to pick you up from the airport this week. It was so detailed. I'll show y'all after the show. It was crazy.
He
I
did
still
a
have
Google
it. He
Doc?
made a Google Doc. Not only did he make the Google Doc, he got on Instagram, found my mom, found my older brother, my older
Sent it to them?
sister, and my best friend, and he sent them the Google Doc. I didn't even know it had been created. My sister
He's
calls
so
me like 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning. I'm like, what's going on? She was like, just sent a Google Doc, and he sent it to mom. He sent it to I was like, oh my God, I go to my email. He emailed it to me because I had blocked him. I was so embarrassed. The depths that these men will
I
go.
want to know what's in it.
I'm
She
gonna
said she
show
would
you.
show it.
I'm gonna show you. I couldn't
I
believe
wanna
that he
see
did this,
this.
and it was
Wow.
detailed. It was like a dissertation. He had all these details. Every date, he put dates, what I should have
was
said,
He's crazy.
examples of what I should have said.
Now,
like,
Medina, was any of this, in your opinion, maybe
Valid.
he was right? Was
you
it
know,
valid?
it's so funny
But here's
that
the
you
thing.
say
He could have
that.
told you in the moment.
Because he
Talk
gave
about
me
it in real time.
PTSD. Like, he really gave me PTSD to the point where now when I date, I guess I should look at it as a positive. I'm hypersensitive to like how I treat people because I had no idea he
Yeah.
felt this way.
Right.
But this was ignorant. I couldn't believe he did this.
Oh my God.
That's terrible.
It's
You
a
know
lot.
what? I'm not gonna lie. When you break up with somebody, would you like a Google Doc of like what you could have done?
Like a review.
Better?
Like,
It's like
honestly,
exit
I
interview.
don't.
Like an exit interview.
I don't.
Yeah.
Because talk to me when it's happening.
I would read
Don't
it.
Like
wait
after
until
you
it's
lose
over
the job,
to
you know how you
fucking
do the exit
dialogue
interview,
everything.
Yeah.
and you like
Tell
talk
me in real
about what
time.
could have been
What?
better.
In real time.
I would like it.
I
Yeah.
feel like
There
there
was
was
a
would
part
apply
that I
This
that.
should be a thing. You should create a document for people to fill out.
Yeah, like a little
I wish,
thing. We
I
can
wish
separate
my
it up.
man would
Yeah,
create
like
a
an
Google document of what he wants me to do before we break
There
up.
we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, let's be
Do that.
proactive.
Let's be hello.
Yeah, because
Yes.
listen,
Google
no
Docs.
relationship is perfect.
At
But then at
all.
the end, when it's over, maybe it would be good to have like some feedback.
I would like the feedback. Because, you know,
I would like it
You
to
don't
be
gotta
the
send it to my
relationship.
mama.
I want the
Like,
feedback.
That was
Don't send
OD.
that to
What did your
Tish.
mom say?
Sending it to
my
you
mom
is
was
one
like,
thing.
baby, I just want you to know I did not open it and read it. And I always
She
wondered,
did
did
read it.
She read it.
She said she did.
probably
She
like,
just
that's my
read it and was
girl.
like, this is
My
not
mom
my
read it.
business.
You know what?
She definitely would have read
He
it.
titled it, "Hey Smiley Face."
Why would you do
I
that?
can't wait to show this to you. Why would you do this to someone? I was utterly embarrassed.
That is ridiculous.
I think this is
terrible.
not a bad idea.
I don't think it,
We
You
should
should
really
flip it.
create some type.
I would
it's
like.
long.
I would like a.
Wow.
And
It's
it's
6 pages.
Maybe
Hope
4.
you enjoyed your week. I like that he said. It's currently Friday, November 5th, around 5:30.
Timestamp.
He actually, it's well written. From experience, I've noticed you don't do well with constructive feedback. So I'm also helping you
Angela's
curate
really reading it.
your
Curate.
accountability cluster. Hence, why others he used the word hence. Why others in your personal circle are included. We often say feedback is the breakfast of champions, and without accountability,
Angela agrees.
there's
Never seen
liability.
I've never seen it.
Okay, I've noticed position. Oh, he forgot an S here. I've noticed position you've taken on social media as quote being stood up or quote wanting
This
a
is
real.
this particular situation
Okay.
that happened.
So here's some factual critique to truly add validity to the narrative, as well as share best practices in dating, so you don't continue fumbling good men.
What does this man do for a living?
He is a financial advisor. He made me to the point where I'll never date a financial advisor ever again.
Even if not with me, I genuinely want and wish the best for you in your love life because I believe you're an amazing woman that may just need a little coaching or a glimpse from another perspective besides your own.
Wow.
So far, it's not bad.
I'm
amazed.
It's just
Okay,
kinda like,
one. A.
One
Personal
A.
accountability and communication. Medina, it wasn't until Friday, October 29th at 3:45 that you finally shared logistics about the party that evening. Not to mention, I am the one that had to reach out to you at that time. When you finally texted, be at your house at 6 p.m., I called immediately to let you know I'd be running behind.
That's a whole situation. This y'all won't understand because it's a whole situation.
Then he
And
did
he's
a
leaving
beat
out
to
his
it.
part in
Okay. Oh, yeah. He drove out of Alpharetta. C. I thought back to the week prior where a similar situation happened. It was Sunday. He has a date. So he has a diary.
He has because I was like,
Okay.
how
He
did you
keeps a
my
calendar.
God.
Okay,
You've
all
been
right,
making
listen.
notes about me though. And it's
Instead
like,
of telling me in the moment, you
Instead of
saving up all these
saying, like,
notes.
You guys, this is like a contract. All right.
How
two.
many sticky notes
That's
did
why
you
I'm
put
saying
in?
it would be
Relationship
better in the
deposits.
moment.
right.
I gotta tell you how he starts off 2A. As aforementioned, let's remain
Per
on.
my last email.
right.
Ooh, he said, purpose of this interaction was to express my concern with the relationship deposits or lack thereof I felt were being made on your end. During the discussion, you took that as me saying, you don't spend money on me. That's not at all what I was
that's
saying.
exactly what he said.
I'll share some examples of what we mean by relationship deposits. I've never heard of relationship
Relationship
He
deposits.
sounds like he wants to be a
dating
relationship
coach?
therapist, right?
I know we go out of the time.
Also, we were not in a relationship. That I
This
knew
is
this man
just
for
dating.
1 month.
Ooh, girl.
I knew him for 1
Now,
month.
is this true? Did you
You guys
always
did
describe
I
your
knew
cooking
him for
skills?
1 month.
Oh no, he would have been a
Did
horrible.
you
wait a minute.
frequently describe your
long
cooking
term.
skills?
No.
Or what
He
you would
started
prepare
saying he
for others?
wanted me to cook for him. And I was like, okay, one day I was making some chicken wings. And I was like, you could come over and eat. Again, he's not my boyfriend.
Okay, you did make him wings at one time. He said they were good.
He was playing. I was really looking at this email like,
He's wild.
you sent this to my brother? My
To
big
my
brother.
mom.
First of all,
Finally getting,
you got
you
me
know?
and we was only
Oh,
dating for a
girl,
month.
he wanted you to just say this hookah coal refill is on me.
Now we start but you talk about it wasn't about
Who
who's spending
refill
money.
is how much? $10?
He wanted you to
Maybe
be like
25.
He wants you to be like, I got
Yeah.
us a shot.
He left out everything that I actually did do for him that was financial, which is crazy to me. That's why this accountability thing, it's like, put in your part in it also, though.
But
'cause
what did you do that he's not mentioning?
he's not mentioning the Dior cologne for his birthday. Again, I knew him
Okay.
for 1 month. And I was like, oh, he's really sweet.
Dior
I'm going
cologne's
to
nice.
You
give him a
bought
little
him a cologne.
surprise.
That's a standard
gift.
good
Not
gift.
only did I
Oh,
Yes.
shoot, girl, you're not good at listening, he said.
I did a scavenger hunt around his place. Like, I was like a romantic
cute.
girl.
I can't believe he wrote on
Yes.
this. This is amazing, by the
I'm
way.
appalled.
Listening is number 3. In the book, Never Split the Difference, author describes listening as the greatest form of currency you can give a person. I don't believe it's productive to list the countless examples of where I told you something and you just flat out forget or attempt to explain to me that I never said it. That's so me. I will forget some shit now.
I will.
That guy
Okay.
is special.
He got to
It's
relax
crazy.
with that.
He came to
No,
my
he's
house one
doing
day
a lot
and
for a
told me
month.
that I need to allow him to spend the night at my house during the weekdays because
Why?
I live in the city and his office was in the city and he lived in Bumblefuck. I don't know.
How much is-
and
how
he was
much
like,
of the
I don't
rent
want
you
to
paying?
have to drive this
So
far. And I
you
was
drive,
like,
so you paying my rent?
and he started really
I can
having
allow
me
you to pay
believe that.
that.
I was doing the like I
wrong
was
thing.
yeah. So I was like, okay, maybe you should. I was dumb. I was
Now,
like,
last question. Did you call him corny?
I did.
Good.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
he-
You said I was
so
so
mad
So
about that.
I live like 20 minutes from the
He
airport,
said-
and my boyfriend lived an hour and a half from the airport. So he would come to my house and like use my house as the jump off point to go to the airport when he had to travel. And after a while, I would just like, is this the only time I'm going to see you? Like,
Right.
It's
what's
like,
going on
yeah,
here?
like, you're,
yeah.
Well, he did say you're amazing. Okay.
After all that.
He said you'll always attract a man.
He said you was a good woman.
You even shared or insinuated with me over text that you have moved on. Go Speed Racer.
You know
No,
what?
he didn't
He's
call you
an
fast.
asshole.
So
He
was there
is.
anything that
What
you
a
felt like
dick,
that you
right?
pulled from this
Yeah.
constructive criticism that
I
was a
can't
positive
believe he
that you
said
could
go
move
Speed
forward
Racer.
with? Was there anything
But he
useful?
did say,
Yeah.
quote, let me just
No.
read this. Quote,
I'm gonna answer
corny.
that.
I've been called a lot of things in my day, but never corny.
They just didn't
And I
say
should
it
have
to
told him he
his
had a
face.
big booty. He also had a big old booty.
Oh, no,
Ooh,
I
he
don't
had
like guys with
He
big
had
booties.
his.
I do not like men with big butts.
Yeah.
I like
I like
tight
guys with like a
muscle
little,
butts.
like,
You can have a little
curvy-
football
An
butt.
athletic
Yeah, I like
butt
that.
with a big old
Yeah.
juicy
Not
booty.
basketball.
Yeah, no.
He better be glad that I didn't take my platform and really rip him
Roast
apart.
him.
Because that could have happened. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not even going to do that.
He
'cause
wasn't
I'm
worth
going to
it.
look bitter.
I wish you would. I wish you would have read me the email.
With
I
his
would do it for
BBL
you.
booty.
Not
I don't
with
even know him.
BBL booty. And he
Yeah.
better be glad I didn't contact his company. There's just so much that could have been done because now it turned into harassment. Like, what are you doing? He didn't
That's
stop contacting me.
long.
Yeah, it's like, bro, what are you doing? Take the L and move on.
Period.
That was a
Okay.
lot. That was
I
a
would
lot.
say it was well written. There were a couple grammatical
Mhm.
errors. I'm an English major.
Mhm.
But other than that, it was well.
But did you ask, did I take
Yeah,
anything from that?
was there
And
anything
yeah,
positive
like,
that you were
and
able
you
to
know
take
what?
from
I'm
it?
not gonna lie, I did because
What'd
it
you
made me
take?
think about.
Mm.
And when he was talking about like, oh, like you're not offering things, you're not things, and you're not doing relationship deposits. First of all, I didn't really like him like that, so I thought
Right.
that was I knew him for a month. I was still getting to know you, and so it made me
And
realize
he wasn't
that.
passing the test, clearly.
Yeah, but for
Right.
me, if I really do care about somebody, making sure I am offering certain things, and at least even if you don't want me to. But he gave me like literally, he made me be like super hypersensitive to where like even in my relationship now, I'm always like, do you want me to get this? Do you want me to get this? My boyfriend be like, what are
Right.
you doing? Like, shut
That
up.
is something though, ladies. Let's talk about that for a second, because you've already had to cope with this, Medinah. But Kiki, do you do relationship deposits?
If I like you.
Okay.
If I care, I have no problem doing it. But sometimes I think that men get confused and they think that we like them more than we do. And it's like, this is just a good time for
Right.
right now. So don't expect me to give a lot. But I have no problem giving.
Mhm.
I find that really I give too much sometimes. If I like you.
I saw on TikTok, this went viral, where a woman was filming herself. She was on a date, and the guy, I guess, didn't have enough money to pay for dinner.
And
You
he asked
saw
to wash
that?
the dishes.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
was like, I can wash the dishes. And she was just kind of like,
she was just
sitting-
filming
and
herself.
people were like, why didn't she offer? What did you think about that?
She
They were
probably
pitching-
ain't have it to offer.
That's
to
what I
pay for
thought.
herself,
Because I
to
would've
pay for
offered.
herself at least.
Mhm.
Because I've
Yeah.
always been taught since I was young, don't go out with a guy if you don't have money to take care
Hello.
of
Pay for
yourself.
yourself.
like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
in case something
same.
happens. Yeah,
I was taught that. I didn't always do that.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's definitely what I was taught. I would think that if she had it, she would be like, well, I can at least pay my part.
right.
But it seemed
That's
like
why she
also
accepted
you wanted to have a moment
She tried
to
she
do
wanted
something
to
for
be
the
able to play
internet.
him.
Right.
at least you didn't
You're
put his
trying-
face on though.
I'm
I was
glad
watching
she
it.
did, 'cause that's
Put his
rude.
face on. But
And then I'm like, well, why were y'all ordering shit if you ain't no money?
Why did we even end up here? That's what I'm
Yeah.
here.
And you're asking how the bill
Why
got to
would
that
you
point.
order?
There's prices.
Yeah.
And if it's no
And it
prices,
was only
then it's too damn
$97.
expensive.
It was $97.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I'm like, where are y'all?
God.
there's definitely times in my life I probably didn't have $97.
There was times
Yeah.
I didn't
Definitely.
have $97
Definitely.
either, but I'm not about to be sitting.
You know
in
what's
a
crazy? I was
restaurant
thinking
knowing that the
about,
bill was gonna be more than that.
This time when I was working at Sirius, and I don't think he'll mind me telling this story because he's discussed it before. But when B.O.B. first signed to Atlantic Records, he was managed by B Rich. Remember B Rich?
Mhm.
And him and TJ, they were managing B.O.B. They were like, after they had did my show, they were like, let's go get something to eat. And I was like, okay. And they told me way later that when I ordered a second drink, they didn't have enough money to even pay because they had just signed a deal.
Mm.
And they were like, look, we had spent all of our money like trying to get all this done. And then that's why no one else got a drink but me. But they
would be
offered,
me.
they were like, oh, we're going to take you out. And I was like, okay, cool. We went a couple blocks from the station at Sirius, and they just didn't have it at that time. And clearly things got better after that. But they, in retrospect, were looking back and they were like, I just remember being like, oh my God, how are we going to pay for this?
How'd they pay for it?
Right.
They managed. They just didn't get drinks either. Like they realized they had just enough. Like if they,
I've definitely been in situations like
Yeah.
that, especially when
Yeah.
it's like you
that's
do
tough
maybe,
to be a guy.
Yeah, it's any situation is tough because even if it's not like a romantic situation, if you are like in the entertainment industry and you meet somebody that you do look up to or you want to work with and you maybe need a moment with them and
Right.
you want to take them out, you're not going to be like, hey, I really don't have any money to take you out, but I want to take you out because I wanted to maybe like pick your brain about something. We all
No,
know
you
like
can't.
the protocols you're supposed to do and points. I've done that before, and it's like I hope she don't be trying to order too much.
You're right.
I got
We saw that on The
$107.
Pursuit of Happiness. Remember in the movie The Pursuit of Happiness, where his boss was like, he was interning and he borrowed some money from him. He was like, shit, that was a lot for him.
Yeah.
But I think we got to call this episode Relationship Deposit.
Relationship
No,
deposit.
speaking of relationship deposits, I feel like I make too many relationship
Same.
deposits. I be spending money on my boyfriend.
I deposit the whole relationship.
When I'm in a relationship, when I go shopping, I buy my man shoes and clothes, and I bring them food. But I don't. One thing I have to say is that I have not ever I've sat at a table with a man who made me pay for my food.
Okay.
That has not ever happened.
And
to
what
me.
I do want people to take
But I
from this,
would if I had to. I would. I pay for both of us. I'm trick mama.
the relationship deposits don't always have to
Gigi,
do with money.
Right.
Because I will say there
what
are
you
some
giving.
sometimes it's just like sometimes a man just wants you
To take care of
people
him.
just want you to know want to know like you care about my well-being.
Right.
Maybe it's you walk me to the door at night, or you walk me to the car, you open my car door. Like there are just certain things you have to
take out
talk
my
about what you
trash.
need and what you want. You take out my trash, you fold the towels.
Cook for me.
Right.
Yeah, like it's not always. So if somebody's listening, they're like, "Dang, I only got $7 in my account." It's
I
like
think it's nice for a guy to cook for you, because especially guys who don't know how to cook.
Really know how to
Except it might be nasty,
it's
but I
the
think it's a nice
effort.
gesture.
Yeah.
It's a nice gesture. I
Yeah.
had a man, I remember in
that's
college, but he was bragging about his cooking skills.
And
So
it
when I
wasn't.
got to his, it was not there. And I was like, this is truly a college struggle meal. And why? Why did you invite me all the way out here to come do this? Because he didn't go to school with me. He was at like University of Maryland. So I done drove my ass down to Maryland from DC.
For this
Probably got a
black-ass
speeding
meal.
ticket on the way.
For some
And
Kraft mac and
for us-
cheese.
It wasn't even real
I
spaghetti.
love Kraft mac and cheese.
You're disgusting.
For some rice-a-roni.
It was pasta. I thought it was gonna be like real spaghetti, but it was like some pasta noodles and like a jar of sauce that he didn't even hook up. I saw
No
him sprinkle
seasoning?
adobo in it,
You
and
know
that was
what?
it. And
Was
I'm
it on
like,
a
that's
plastic
not
plate?
it. It probably was. And I was just like, I said, I can't do this. Is Buffalo Wild Wings still open? I'm hungry.
Oh.
We need to eat something. I
Did he
can't.
buy
You're like,
did he
I
buy
order
the-
it.
He did,
Okay.
and his feelings were hurt. But I'm like, I'm hungry.
I would love
I
to
thought you were
hear what type
cooking.
of letter he would have written about you.
Oh, he
You
would
know
have-
what? Like, you should have appreciated the fact that I opened up the jar and
I
poured
didn't
the
even
sauce.
have any food, but I gave you my last.
I gave you my last jar of sauce.
Yeah.
Before it expired.
Right. And I did not
You
like
Did-
it.
shouldn't have been bragging about that cooking.
That
Right.
part.
That was the part where he fucked up.
Like,
if he
I
didn't
didn't
brag,
eat before
I would
I
have let it
came,
ride.
I
But she-
drove.
Yeah, I thought I was
I
about to
feel like
fuck
all
some shit
guys
up.
who like think they can cook but can't, they can all make tacos and spaghetti. Those are like the two
Well, he fucked up
meals.
the
And
spaghetti.
breakfast.
Yeah, and breakfast.
Hopefully.
On the
Usually they're
first
good
date
with
with my
breakfast.
son's father, he made me steak and baked potatoes. And
Okay.
Yum.
He made
And
me
it
a
was
nice
good?
meal. Yeah, I gave him a baby after that.
Yeah, you're like, you want to have a baby?
Yeah.
Now, did y'all see Tara Owens talking with Ocho Cinco on
Yes.
live, and he was saying
Somebody
that
was talking about it this morning.
Yeah.
What
Yes.
do you do?
So he was saying that he basically had stopped dating his experiences dating black women wasn't so good, and that they would kind of like did you see it?
He
What
was
did he
saying that when he was younger, that the black girls didn't like him. They talked about him being too dark, and he wasn't attractive, and that kind of pushed him more towards other races, white women especially.
Mhm.
And he's like, look at me now, and he gets shunned upon because that's what he prefers. But it's just like, back then y'all ain't want me, now I'm hot, y'all all on me. Like, what am I supposed to do? I mean, to each their own.
I
how I
really
look at
like
it.
when people are honest and you're not trying to like just offend somebody with your words. That's his honest story. I mean, what you want him to do, lie?
Yeah.
Have y'all had experiences dating like outside your race?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kiki said
Kiki
no.
said, nah.
Don't even want to.
No, I tried one time and I was like, I can't. I
I've
like
been,
the black man.
I've
The
been
black
in a
are the
relationship
better.
with a Caucasian man. I've been in a relationship with an Indian man, and I've been in a relationship with with a Jamaican.
Okay.
But
did any of them make you feel like I would never date this whatever
the
again?
Indian,
I felt like he was kind of having a little bit of a fetish because it was always about black stuff. And it's like, I don't talk about black shit all day, every day. We don't have to, we
Right.
can just have a conversation.
I would date a white man again. I feel like
Would?
that I would probably eventually end up marrying one.
Really? Why do you say that?
Just from past experiences. I've always had the best times when I was in those relationships. They just treat you better. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did it feel any type of fetishization at all?
Did it feel like fetish to me?
Yeah.
No.
I've dated the rainbow, and it all comes down to like how we were talking about earlier. I have got to feel like my favorite way to be looking in the house is ugly. Like I like being in my hair looking crazy, no makeup is on.
I be naked in the bathroom all day long.
And I have learned that when I've dated outside of my race, I don't feel not that they did anything to me. It's just the cultural differences. I don't want those in my household.
Right.
I want you to understand that I might look totally different tomorrow.
Right.
I don't want you asking questions.
Like, how your hair got so long?
Right.
Yeah, don't ask me that, sir. Like, what are we doing? Like, and I've had great experiences dating outside of my race. So when it comes down to that core again, the family values, I don't want to have to explain to your white mother why she can't say the N-word.
You know what?
I don't want to have
do that.
I just don't want to have to tell why I just don't want to have to deal with that.
I just knew it wasn't a future with him. Like after a while, I was just like, this isn't going to go past where it is now. And he was hella cheap. He had a lot of money, but he always wanted to get something on a discount.
We need some relationship deposits.
He always wanted like
the relationship deposits.
I'm never gonna forget that. I like
he don't
that.
want to pay full price or anything.
I want us all to go home tonight and do some relationship deposits to somebody you love or like.
Listen,
Stephanie's like, I did it already. Dinner is ready.
I feel like this is a learning lesson for all of us.
Yeah, right.
To be able to do things like that. I'm not mad at it. I'm not gonna lie,
Relationship deposit.
Now, let me ask you this. Let's just say you were in love. Kiki, you been in love before? Like, thought you was going to get married? Maybe
I thought that, and I shouldn't have thought that, but yes, I have.
Okay.
And it felt good at first. Didn't last, but yeah.
What happened?
He cheated. He had a baby with somebody else.
Oh, that'll do
been
it.
there.
Yeah, I've been
He
there
had a
too.
whole nother girlfriend, so.
How did you find out?
His best friend's wife came to me and told me.
What?
Mhm.
She was
Yeah.
like, I really like you.
She hit me up on
She was like,
it was like
"Girl,
Facebook.
You need to know.
And she was like,
We
I
brought
know
it
that
back
you
full circle.
Yeah, she was like, you need to know this. And I was like, I need to know what. She was like, call me. So I called because I want to know, like,
Right.
what's going on?
What's he says?
And she
What
has
do you
no-
have
yeah.
anything
Yeah.
to do with anything? Like, what's going on? So when I called her, she was like, he's having a baby and he hasn't told you, but they were talking about it last night.
Her messy
And
ass.
Yes, and I loved her messy
For
ass
that,
for
yes.
that. And she was like, they're
Yeah.
talking about it, and I want you to know I did say you need to tell her, and if you don't tell her, I will. And it don't
Here
seem
I
like
am.
he told you because
I appreciate
You're
that.
still in the section
That's
with
dope.
us every
Yeah.
Sunday.
So like I appreciated that, and I'm glad she told me. I did leave it alone after that because like this is somebody you're about to have a life with. And it just made me wake up and realize this is not your person. Well, one, he's not trying to be your person. He's trying to be everybody's person. And it's not going to match up because you're going to be mad at that baby.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how people are able to stay in relationships with somebody when they have a baby with somebody else. Like, to each their own. And if you love that man real bad and you can do it. But I know I would be mad every day looking at that child. And the child didn't do anything to deserve
and then
that.
also
So I
have to
exit.
knowing that you have to deal with the mom.
Yeah, and I still have to deal with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm
Yeah, I
always
wouldn't
gonna
be
wonder.
able
I couldn't
Treat
do
the baby
it.
right. They'd be like,
Mm-mm.
why is Natasha in the corner not eating with everyone else? Well, where her mama at?
She's side
Her
baby.
mama
She
needs
sit
to
on
pack
side.
her with a little to-go meal.
I think people can forgive
side baby, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, Gigi was a side
Yeah.
baby.
Were you treated differently?
No, I was put on a pedestal. I was the fucking
You got extra
star
treatment.
child. Yeah.
The side baby put on a pedestal.
I was the
Yeah.
golden ticket child. I
Well,
was. I was
I mean, I do
golden
think
child.
that,
It's
you know,
hard.
when you're in
It's
that
hard.
situation, when it
But-
comes to a little baby, if the other mom can be okay, you can grow to love and be like, okay. But
Because that's another
if the
variable,
other
right?
mom is a crazy person, then that's the real obstacle.
Yeah, you can't.
Because
do
you
it.
now a part of my life.
And I think it's also different if like you had a baby with somebody you were in another relationship with, or if it was just like y'all were having sex and this girl got pregnant.
Oops, yeah.
That's different. But you got a whole nother relationship. No.
Like, what if you started dating somebody, you really liked them, and then they had a baby on the way with somebody they weren't with? Could you continue to pursue that relationship?
I can't.
Fuck
I
them
don't
kids.
know.
I mean,
I might be able to do that.
I have.
I
I've,
like
I've
the
done
kids.
that.
Really?
I've started with a guy who had a baby on the way.
Yeah.
And we stood together
All
for a
of us
long
deep
time.
side.
Because there's
I
already
might.
so much that goes into, again, a healthy relationship. If you're not worried about that, then cool, this ain't for you. But like, if you are, it's like now we have a whole other dynamic we got to work
No, but like
through.
you said, I feel like it was in my younger years, and in my younger years, I wasn't even the furthest I was thinking about the future was maybe the next 20 minutes.
Right.
Right.
You know?
Right.
What
So,
are we eating?
But you know,
tonight?
that's a lesson
as an
learned.
adult,
'Cause
I don't know if I
sometimes
could.
we stay way
'Cause
too
it's a
long
lot.
when we got those those signs really
Oh my
early on and be
God.
like, I
Yeah.
know
I broke
I
up with a
should have
guy
paid
because he had a
attention.
baby on me. We was in an open relationship. And he got the next girl pregnant. And I found out because his best friend thought I knew and was like, something, the baby. And I'm like, what baby?
What baby?
You know what's hard for guys too? Because
Wow.
sometimes they be thinking they don't know if it's theirs or not until.
Oh,
That's what he
yeah.
tried to
So
say.
sometimes they try to wait and they be like, let me
That was
wait.
his excuse when I asked him. And guess what he said? Well, guess what was happening? The baby had a name.
His name.
No, but very close to his name because he already had a junior. The baby had a name that started with the same initial, and he was transforming the library across the hall to a nursery. So how you doing all this in the baby, and you don't know that
And you
that's your
don't
baby?
know.
Right.
You know.
I would rather know. Like, tell me that you think you might have a baby, but
Yeah, I
you don't
prefer
know.
Right.
And let's get the damn test.
Communication.
Why are y'all not getting DNA tests?
Like you said.
No, and I'm
Medina,
not gonna lie.
communication.
After the baby
Communication.
came, there was a little problem in between time. In the meantime, that we had to get over. We had to move on from after.
Because
a
there's
while.
so many. Because then you look at it like, okay, I'm with you. You have the baby. You have to be present in the baby's
No,
life.
and I can't
And I'ma
be,
look
and I
at you
can't
funny
be
if you
mad
don't.
at
And if
it
you're not,
because
then it's
I
like,
knew.
okay.
You know, I can't be mad because I knew it was coming. So
What if he was like, I really want you to also like step in? What if he wanted to
I
bring
gotta
the
be a stepmama.
yeah?
that's a different thing there.
Now,
Like,
I've
what
done
if
the
a guy
stepmama
wanted you to
role.
meet his baby?
That's
I've done
happened.
that.
That guy that sent that Google Doc, that was one of the reasons why I had to leave him alone because he kept trying to force his kid on me. Again, I
Oh,
knew him
no.
from
I was trying to
outside.
force that
I was
child
like,
on
I
me.
don't want to meet
How old
the
was this
baby.
kid?
The baby was 5.
Mm.
I didn't want to
Oh,
meet
that's
him
too
though.
old,
So I was
too.
like,
Why do you need to meet him?
why do I need to meet your child? I personally don't think that's appropriate when anybody has a baby. You just everybody you dating is meeting
Right.
the child.
I think that's
What is we
totally
doing?
inappropriate.
I'm not comfortable with it. I don't know that little nigga. Bye.
Like I agree. I don't even want
Where's
to
your
meet your
son?
kid unless I know we're about to get married or
Yes,
something.
that's
like
a
we're gonna be
big
forever.
step.
Because
Yeah.
why are we gonna do that to the kid?
Why? And I love kids. I'm good with kids. I play with the
That's
kids.
what
have
I
nieces
said.
and
Your
nephews.
kid is gonna
that
love
baby
me,
gonna love
and then
me.
I'm gonna
He's
send you
always
to
gonna ask
hell,
about you.
And
And I'm
what's gonna
gone.
happen after that?
You don't know that
Now
I
where's
am.
Stephanie? She's gone. She
Yeah.
died.
Yeah,
I've dated
meet
guys
my, this
and
is
I'm
Myra.
bad.
Meet
And then
Myra
you feel
now.
bad when you break
Jennifer,
up.
exactly.
Yeah.
And now you
or,
created a little monster for someone's daughter to meet and marry one day. No,
Yeah.
I don't need to meet the baby.
or I was glad that I met him with the kid and I met everybody and now I see how you are with the kid so I can really see like how you really
That's
are. I
another way
can't
to look
just
at it.
listen to what you say and you might complain about your baby mama and you might complain about things, but then when I can see and I can speak to him myself
And-
or speak
yeah.
to her myself, I can really get my own opinion. But I need to know you well.
Yeah.
And I need to have a feeling that it's more solid than just somebody I'm just dating. I met a dude's mama and his son. They came down one time. We had only been talking for a little while. And I'm like, why are we on a family outing? I did not know
That's
that they
so
were coming.
crazy.
That's
And
too
I'm
much.
like, why are we doing this?
That's too
This
much.
is weird. And it's like, do you introduce your son to every woman that you deal with?
That's horrible.
But then again, that goes back to the whole, again, that
He was
communication
older, but
thing.
still.
If that's something that you don't think needs to be communicated, now in my adult years, I realize I can't be with somebody that doesn't think a conversation needs to be had about meeting your whole offspring.
Right.
Right. And your mother.
I agree.
And your mama.
Man, when I was in college, this guy I was with, he had a kid. His kid was only like 3 years old.
Uh-huh.
And him and the mom were not on good terms. And I was living in a dorm in Manhattan. This when I was at school at Barnard. And thought I was going to be a teacher. So I was taking these classes at Bank Street College of Education. He left his son with me one day because the mom left a note and was like, I can't take it anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, she didn't want to be a mother. She was like, I can't handle it. Left the kid home alone with the note. And then he went over there. I guess she called or had somebody to call to tell him. Nobody knew where she went. And so he went to go pick up his son. But then he was like, man, he played in like some little basketball league that was like it
Some, like,
wasn't no real
recreational
one.
stuff.
Yeah, some recreational thing with his
He had a
friends.
kid?
And he left the kid with me for like overnight. What the day that
So
this
he can go play
happened?
basketball.
Oh,
Yeah. And I was like, this is the time for you to be spending some time with your child. The mom.
But not only that, like
game
we're
was more
laughing because it's
important
funny.
than the
Nothing.
son.
You're a good
It was
person.
a long
Nothing
time.
happened
Yeah,
to the child. But this
But
is
what
how
if he
things
weren't?
happen to
That's
kids.
insane.
And it's like
Yeah.
you're just like, I'm gonna leave you with a stranger.
in my
Yeah.
dorm room.
Yeah, that's weird.
In a
In
Of all
college.
places.
And then he was like, he goes to me, man, I'm gonna take him to a foster home. He was like, I'm not doing this.
Oh,
You're
And
man.
I was like,
That sucks.
I was like,
Both
I
your
cannot be with a
parents.
person who even thinks like this.
Yeah,
Even
that's
that.
terrible.
Even that. Mhm.
Like he was like, I can't handle this. I'm taken to a foster home. And I get that he was mad at the mom for just up and leaving like that. But it
that's
probably
your
was
son.
really hard for her. Like, I don't
She
know
might
what
have
she
been
was
going
going
through
through.
Listen,
postpartum
if he
depression
was
or
ready to take the
something.
baby to the foster home from day one, then that means he already wasn't doing his job as a father
You
to
wanted
begin
you to
with.
be the
Right.
foster mother.
And then he wasn't
already
even there
wasn't
on day
playing his
one.
part.
Angela was.
I'm in school.
My point.
Yeah.
I'm in a dorm room with a
He was
baby.
never
I'm
playing
like,
his
what's
part.
going
Right.
on here?
What did you feed the baby?
I don't even.
Kraft
You know what? I
macaroni
remember
and
we
cheese.
went.
No.
I took him to the
Ramen
park.
noodles.
I just remember walking with him in the park and then being like, "What am I? I don't know what to do with this
Yeah.
child."
That's
I was 18
wild.
years old.
That's
like,
wild.
I gotta study.
Yeah, that's
I have
crazy.
papers to write.
I feel like at this point in my life, I don't want to be with a man that has a small child.
Right.
Yeah, that's
like,
a lot.
I don't mind kids, but I like them grown, like mine.
Okay,
Mhm.
You
like
know?
a little adult.
Yeah, like I think I'm old enough to date a man who has a 20-year-old kid.
Yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
Mhm.
Me and your son could be like, cool.
Mhm.
Cool. We could like go to dinners and shit, all of us.
Do you think that you're more like in a relationship, you're more maternal to your man or he's more paternal to you? Like, are you more the person that he's...
I'm more maternal.
I'm
Okay.
definitely the
I
maternal
think
one at all
Me
times.
too. I think I'm more maternal towards my boyfriend, but then when I get into like my mode, if I'm crying, I want to be like rocked to sleep, and
Mhm.
Right.
I turn into a baby. So I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm a mix.
Well, yeah, you can switch back and forth. What do you think?
Yeah,
I think
switch.
me and my boyfriend are like, he's what I need a man to be for me as a
Mhm.
woman, and I'm definitely the maternal. Like, what do you need? What can we do in the house to make things more comfortable for both of us?
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Keith?
I'm more maternal, way more
Really?
maternal.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's why I say I give too much sometimes. But I
Mhm.
think I would like somebody who is more paternal, I guess.
Right.
I would like try that a few times.
Like a
think
dad.
some
Yeah, 'cause
authority,
I like
right?
to be taken
Yeah.
care of like a baby sometimes.
I like that.
I
And when I've
love
had like
when a
little
man
experiences.
properly knows how to lead, and it's not like
Me
you're
too,
teaching
though.
him. He just knows.
Yes.
He's like, I
Because a
got
lot of
that.
men
I
will
love
scream
that.
about
It's
you
the
don't
best.
listen, but it's like you don't lead. What am I listening to?
right.
An
But
idiot?
I don't mind, being the boss of things that men are a little weird
Slow
about
at.
Exactly.
slowing. Like I could take care of banking and things in the house and keeping up with the tissue and the napkins and the normal
Mhm.
womanly things in the home.
Are
I
there
don't
ti-
mind that either. I love that. I love
I
a
like
little
doing that.
tradition now.
Exactly.
I
the
love
gender
doing that.
roles.
I have to do it. Yeah, I
Are there
have to
times
do
when you're
it.
like, I can't tell my man this because he's gonna be so mad that he might like wild out? Like about somebody else. Like if somebody did something to you and you like, man, if I tell my
yes.
man this, he about to
Mhm.
be
I'm
so.
telling
Please, I
you.
Very
have an
protective.
ex-boyfriend.
I like that though.
I have an
Right,
ex-boyfriend
it's
that I
nice.
can't
Be
tell
like-
him any of my personal relationship business because he gets in his feelings. I gotta be like, oh, he treats
All
me
right,
great.
let's
He's
end with this.
fabulous.
As we're talking to our ladies from CockTales, Dirty Discussions. And by the way, they are on tour right now. So make sure you
Yes.
check them out because y'all kicked it off in New York.
Mhm.
So we came in on a Saturday.
All
right.
Thank y'all.
Gigi
Never
flew
are
in
here
and she's
on
flying back out
Saturday.
tonight
Thank you.
I think
just
it's
to
the
be
first
able to
time
sit
we've
with y'all
ever
because it
been
was
to
important
on
to us.
Saturday.
Thank y'all.
To be able to be here for this episode today. Okay, so what is one thing that you have to hide and do from your significant other in the house? You don't want him to know that you do this besides taking a shit. If that is one thing. What is one thing that you don't want a man to know that you do?
He
that
can't
you have
hear
to
this,
hide?
right?
Nope.
Okay.
Ours is enough. Always. What you about to say?
No, I'm thinking. I was just
Oh.
wasn't sure.
I don't want them to know every time I masturbate. Every time I pull out
Okay.
my toy.
That's what I was
That's
thinking.
fair.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
one.
want you to
Yeah,
know.
I used to
So
I got
sneak
a
and
couple
masturbate.
things.
Have you ever masturbated while he's there? But
Mhm.
okay.
Like if you won't leave, you
Right.
don't live here. You gotta go. I mean, I gotta do
lived
it.
with my man and
at
I used to
some
sneak and
point.
masturbate when he was watching football.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
when the
because men
sports
get
are
too
on.
excited about
Yeah.
that anyway. Like, oh, let me see.
And it's like, this is my personal moment.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
want
not
you
the
here.
same
Like,
when you
Give me the
watch.
blanket.
yeah, I'm hiding under the covers.
I think mine would be, this is so embarrassing. I sometimes act out these random scenes that are not real. It's just like I'll think of something and like be like, I'm gonna fake cry. But I have to obviously be by myself and I'll be like acting like something dramatic happened and really like I'm in a movie. And I just do it in random moments. Like I might be in the shower and be like, oh my gosh, he really did that to me. And like acting out this whole lie of a scene. If he ever walked in on me doing that, I would be embarrassed and I'd be like, we have to break up.
Ooh, it's like TikTok. He can't hear you though. Okay.
Are Are you lying?
Can you hear? Yeah, they can.
That is
Hilarious.
I do it
Well,
too,
at least
though. I do it too. You're not
at
alone.
least now, if he walks in, he won't be surprised.
You won't be
He'll know what
surprised.
it is.
He'll be like,
He'll
oh,
know
you're
you're just acting
acting.
out
I
of
know.
scene.
So,
Yeah.
Gigi, you would say masturbation also?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, for me, I wouldn't think you would say that. I would think you would be like,
What?
I'm masturbating. What?
Well, no, because I do it a lot. So it's like, damn, again? You still in there? So yeah, there's been times when I like would be on the phone with my guy and be like, okay, I'm gonna call you back. I'm about to eat.
I'm about to eat.
Yeah.
What about you, Stephanie?
For me, waxing my mustache. Like, imagine you wax your mustache and then your boyfriend comes in and you got like the red mark.
And you like
over
plucking
your
hairs out.
or like you're trimming you need a wax, but you can't make it. You in there trimming the hair.
Right, I don't
Excuse
want them to
me.
see me like all in my box with the razor. I don't. I don't. I gotta really be comfortable with a man to smoke around them.
Okay.
Like I have to be really, really comfortable because after I smoke weed, I look at everything differently. Like I'll start noticing shit. Like, what is that mark on his nose? Like, why does he breathe like that? Why is he talking? I gotta go.
Yeah.
So I don't like smoking weed, and I smoke. I smoke pretty much every day,
Yeah, he knows.
a lot of times.
A lot of times. A day.
So
That's why you got these sunglasses on.
yeah.
I was thinking about that meme when somebody was like, they were like, your boyfriend leaves you alone in his apartment. What are you doing? And they were like, I'm farting and shitting and
Hilarious.
doing
I
all
don't
of
do
those
any of
things that
that.
you don't do when he's there. So-
I'd be doing those things.
when he's there, right?
Yeah.
That's when you know you get to a good place in your relationship.
But before
Yeah.
you get there, I'm definitely waiting until you leave. My
Yeah,
stomach's
for
hurting
sure.
and shit. I'm
You
like,
there
can
with
you
your
go walk
stomach
the dog?
pushing,
like,
Can you give me a moment?
And you'd be like, the Uber's not here yet. Hurry up. Do you want me to call one for you?
Right.
All right. Well, listen, ladies, thank y'all so much for coming through. We had a really great time with y'all. And we are definitely going to do it again in Atlanta.
Yes.
All right. That's a
you
plan
for having
because
us.
Gigi's in Atlanta too. So
Yes, I am in Atlanta.
Oh,
and
I got
have
my
a
companion pass so I can fly everywhere.
Everywhere.
Oh, you
Around the
wow.
world
Would
for
love
like
to have
$5.
y'all on cocktails. I just want to
Yes.
say thank you. We have been able to this time in New York check off a bunch of goals. Sony
Yeah.
Hall was one of them. That's where our live show was, and coming on Lip Service was directly after it. And so we're really happy to
and
be
taking
here.
a train.
Taking the
Yes,
train.
the train.
When I was in college, one of my best friends, Nia, she put me on to Lip Service when it was on Sirius.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
And Lip Service, honestly, listening to it in college and all this stuff, I was like, I should do a show like this, but with real people. Well, not real people, but regular people, not
everyday
just
people, not
celebrities.
celebrities.
And it kind of inspired
Oh,
cocktails.
that's dope.
And so I was like, this is a full service moment. Can you drive faster in that Uber? We got to get there.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, when I started Lip Service, it wasn't with celebrities. It was actually a segment on Sirius called Slut It Out. It was once a week. And on the show that Cypher Sounds had, I was his co-host. And so I had a little segment, but the segment did so well. And it was like regular people. It was like the receptionist. We had a doctor on one time.
Wow.
And then they gave me my own show because the segment did so well. And that's how it
Because
really
people
started.
want to know.
People
Yeah.
do know. People like talking about sex, even if they is shame. They listening and watching.
Yeah.
I also wanted to
That's
say
why
though,
they're talking shit.
Kiki and I came out with a card game. It's called I'm Curious to Know.
Oh, yes.
So
we should have did some of
we
it.
should have. We were both rushing around. I was like, when you go out in New York, you really don't have time to go back to where you
Because I
started.
see y'all
leave
playing
and
the
that's
game.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, so we will definitely like whenever we meet again, or maybe we can send you one of the games, or we would love to see the description so that your listeners can purchase it. Kiki has a cookbook. We're on tour, and thank you so much for
You got to
having
put
us.
her
Thanks,
wings
y'all.
in the cookbook too.
Her-
She had them
Oh,
wings.
my wings.
Yeah.
Maybe
Right.
it'll be a
gotta try 'em
special
first.
edition.
Yeah, a special
we
recipe.
call it relationship deposit wings.
I think that's amazing.
But thank you, ladies. I appreciate it. And I love the entrepreneurship that y'all have going on too. I think it's amazing. You know,
Thank
we
you.
fully support that up here.
Absolutely.
All right. It is Lip Service.